All right, Chief. So you guys have arrested an accomplice in connection with Daniel Callahan from yesterday.
Yes, Victoria Cox, a 32-year-old female, has been arrested. It was a collaborative effort between the U.S. Marshals, the FBI Task Force, Jackson Police Department, and the Rankin County Sheriff's Department. She was arrested at 3880 I-55 South, the Oyo Hotel in South Jackson. We had started receiving information about her on yesterday that she could have possibly been with him.
Chief, can you stop for a sec? They want to take it live. Would you mind?
Yes, that's fine. That's
I'll
fine.
give you a countdown.
We're going to put a time limit on that.
Okay, we will.
Okay.
We will. But you're not.
What's your time?
How long you need to go? 5 minutes? I want to be here 20 minutes.
Hey, hold
20.
on.
Okay.
You got a few minutes or what?
No, it's
Okay.
all dependent on-
Okay.
All right.
So you were early this morning at recess.
Man, last night and early this morning.
Okay.
When my phone started ringing about 10:30, 11 o'clock.
5 seconds. Go. 4. Ready? Go.
So, Chief, we understand that you guys have arrested an accomplice in connection with Daniel Callahan. Can you tell us about that?
Yes, it was a collaborative effort between the FBI Task Force, the U.S. Marshals, the Rankin County Sheriff's Department, and of course the Jackson Police Department. That arrest took place at 3880 I-55 South, the Oyo Hotel in South Jackson. We had received some initial information yesterday that someone could have possibly been with him. We wanted to take a covert approach to try to locate her, and it was successful today that we got her in custody. She is currently being questioned inside the Jackson Police Department. We will make her mugshot available or perp walk her once we finish questioning her.
What's her name, Chief?
Victoria Cox. Victoria Cox. She's a 32-year-old female. Like I stated, we received information about her yesterday, and we're still trying to determine her exact role. Based on information that I got on yesterday and early this morning, she is an acquaintance and possibly girlfriend of Mr. Callahan. But I can tell you this, she will be held accountable for her actions and her role in this horrific event that happened that spanned from Tangible Hole to South Jackson. She could be possibly facing capital murder charges along with him or accessory before and after the fact. We will contact our district attorney to see how he wants to proceed, but we have so many different things going here, Ross. We have Tangible Hole with their murder case. We have the city of Jackson with their murder case. And we also have the FBI involved because he took these abducted children across state lines. The FBI is very active in this investigation. I've been on the phone with them this morning. I have Assistant Chief Watts currently working with them to find out exactly how we're going to proceed with these charges and who is going to get him before a judge first. But it is a collaborative effort. It's not about who has jurisdiction. It's about us working together to bring justice for the loss of this baby's life here in the city of Jackson.
And obviously you're saying that you believe that she was an acquaintance, so she would have probably been traveling with him with the two girls in the truck, in the car.
We anticipate that was the case, but we will be able to finalize it just shortly. She's being questioned as we speak. She's in our building right now. Police headquarters being questioned by detectives, and we'll be able to determine what role she played, if any, but we anticipate that she's going to be facing some very serious charges along with Mr. Callahan.
Did she resist? Was she armed when you guys went to that hotel?
She was arrested without incident. There was no force needed, excessive force, or anything that would require any type of use of force continuum. Let me correct that. She was compliant as far as I know. For the information that I received, she was in compliance. But the issue is that we have to bring justice for the loss of this child. That was horrific. It sent shockwaves across this city, sent shockwaves as far as New Orleans. I've gotten calls from New Orleans, Louisiana. I've gotten calls from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, from individuals there and news media outlets there, because this has sent shockwaves across the Gulf South that this actually happened. He killed the mother, took her children, brought the children to Jackson, Mississippi, killed one of the children. And probably if law enforcement had not intervened, the other child probably would be deceased as well.
And as it relates to the deceased child, any indication further on how she was killed?
That would be determined by the autopsy, the medical examiner. Her body was not removed until late last night. We had to work that crime scene properly. My understanding is still being worked. We had to work it with a scalpel to make sure it was done correctly. The body was not removed, probably lost after 11 p.m. last night. And as you know, we were out there at 2, 3 o'clock yesterday evening to make sure. I'm not sure how she lost her life. Was it blunt force trauma? Was it suffocation? I'm not sure. But I know that she was deceased in the woods, lying in the woods when I saw her.
In fact, so did it appear just from looking at her body that how?
I don't want
to.
to.
Looked like a lifeless child.
She was a lifeless child. She was deceased, and it was horrifying to see. I know that she didn't die of natural causes in the woods. I know that. I know that he's responsible for it, and he will be held accountable for it.
And I know also, Chief, you pushed back on a report that the 2 girls had been buried alive. Where did that come from?
I don't know where that came from. And it's kind of hard to describe the area. Of course, it was about 40 or 50 yards in the woods from the home. And it was like a hill with an open area at the bottom. And the child was actually at the top of this hill. And the other child, my understanding, was down kind of in the hill, but it wasn't trying to cover them up. They were just kind of the way the ground and the terrain was. Maybe if he had time, he would have tried to do that, but they were not buried at the time that they were discovered.
And has he made any statements to police? Ms. Cox, has she made any statements to police?
She's being questioned right now. I don't know what she's saying, what she's not saying. I know that Mr. Callahan was transported over to Rankin County last night. Our federal partners are very active in his interrogation, his interview and interrogation, along with our Jackson police officers and tangible hold. They were here yesterday. A captain, a lieutenant, and their criminal investigators were here in Jackson. So it's a collaborative effort because I assume, based on, I've worked homicide for 9 years back in the 2000s, and you're probably only going to get one shot to interview these people. And you got to make sure you have it right. You got to make sure you have your ducks in a row because this is something that's going to grow, and it still could continue to grow as we process this crime scene to determine why he came to that location.